In this video lesson, I would like to introduce you to some very nice attributes that the UI text field has, and in the following video lesson, we will unit test some of these attributes. And currently I have two UI text fields on my view, and one of them is email address and the other one is password. And we use UI text field element in every single app. For example, we use it to create a sign up form or login form like the one I have on my screen, or a form that allows user to fill in or edit their profile details. And we type into UI text fields different types of information. Like for example, we type in user first name, we type in user last name, we type in email address, password, repeat password, PIN code, city, postal code, and so on. And what's nice about UI text field is that if it is configured properly, it can help user to type in their email address, for example, or their phone number, or a URL to their website much quicker and easier. And if content type, for example, is set, then it can also suggest operating system what information to pre-fill into text fields if possible. For example, if we are working on a form that collects from user their address details and provide text input content type for each text field, then the operating system will know that a certain UI text field is user's full street address, and another UI text field is user's city, and another text field is user's postal code. And knowing these details about the text fields, operating system will then be able to suggest user a better autocomplete options. Let's, for example, create a new view controller and create a few fields. I will look for view controller, will drag it into my storyboard, and will create a new text field. I will click on this plus button to bring up objects library and will look for a text field, grab one, will drag and put it here. Let's assume I'm creating a registration form, and the first text field that I want to create is user's first name. What I like all of my text fields to have is a placeholder. And when text field is selected, on the right side panel here, when the attributes inspector is selected, I can click into placeholder text field and type in, for example, first name. And when the view is loaded, what user will see is this light gray placeholder text that gives user a hint that this text field is to be used to type in user's first name. And as soon as user starts typing their first name, the placeholder text will disappear. Next, what I like text field to have is a clear button. And a little bit below here, there's a drop box that allows me to configure when to make a clear button to display. I like it to be always visible. And this means that if there is any text in the text field, the clear button on the right side is always visible. I can tap on it and the text field is cleared. When there is no text in the text field, there is no clear button. But as soon as I type something, the clear button will appear. And next is the text input traits, for example, content type, which is very helpful to have to suggest operating system what type of information this text will have. So for the first name, the content type of this text field will be a given name. Then the keyword type, I will choose default. For the fields like first name, I like capitalization to be words, so that the word starts with a capital letter. And then the return key is good to set to continue, so that user can see a continue button on their keyboard and they tap to continue to the next field. Let's create one more field. I'll select this field and then press Command D on my keyboard to duplicate this text field, position it, and then I will change placeholder here from first name to last name. I will leave most of information same as for the first name text field, except the content type will be not a given name anymore, but a family name. Now I will create one more field. I'll again select the last name field and then hold Command button on my keyboard and tap D letter, position it, and this field will be email address. I will change placeholder, we'll change content type from family name to email address. And then for the email address, I like to choose keyboard type and change it from default to email address. This keyboard will have slightly different keys layout and will have keys like the @ sign and the dot sign available right away. Alright, and then I will select email address and then we'll again duplicate it and we'll create a phone number. So I'll change a placeholder. Let me make it mobile phone like this. And then content type will be telephone number and the keyboard type will be phone pad. There is also a number pad, but I will select phone pad. And the phone number keyboard type differs from the number pad is that the phone keyboard will contain keys that we used to see on mobile phones when we type in phone number. It will have those special keys for keying in plus, asterisk, and then the hash sign, and these keys are not available on the number pad. Alright, and let's create one more field, like for example password, which is a very important field. So I will duplicate phone number and we'll change the placeholder to password. Content type will be password, keyboard type will be default, and then it's very important to check this secure text entry checkbox, because the password text fields are secure text entry field, and it's good to double check that text fields like password and PIN code are set as secure text entry, because this will make the actual password phrase masked, and instead of actual password characters, user will see asterisks or bold dots. Alright, so you get the idea that there are different types of text field, and that each UI text field can have different properties configured, like placeholder, content type, and the keyboard type, and then return key. And in our unit test, we can double check that some of very important to us properties are configured. For example, we want to double check that the password text field is a secure entry text field, or that email address text field has the email keyboard type, or that mobile phone number has the mobile keyboard type. Alright, so in the following video lessons, you will learn how you can unit test these text fields and make sure that the password text field, for example, is a secure text field, and that email address text field is configured to use email address keyboard.